or welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah Blackwell, and today I'm going to be talking about the Goodreads Romantasy category and my predictions for who will be the nominees. I've never done one of these videos before, probably because last year was the first year that the Romantasy category existed. We're all guessing and hoping, I guess, that this will be continuing because Goodreads does change up their categories every year. I'm hoping they keep the Romantasy category around. It is such a popular genre now. I think that it's kind of important to have a category for Romantasy on the Goodreads Choice Awards. Let's talk about the 20 books that I think might be on this list. I don't know how good I am at this. I think this just might be fun. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you do so. Don't forget to click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post new videos, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know, what do you think I've forgotten? I'm gonna forget books. And what books do you think might be on the list that I haven't talked about? Or are there books that I've talked about you think aren't going to be on the list? Let me know. All of my social media is linked down below in the description, including my Goodreads, Instagram, and my Patreon, and the Hideaway Discord. With all that out of the way, let's get into this video. So, I actually have 26 books on my list here, and that is because I'm going to mention a couple of like honorable mentions that I think either won't make it because they are getting published too late, or they won't make it because I think they might be in another category, right? That's what I've got going on here. Let's also point out the fact that this is not my list of the top 20 Romantasy books of the year, right? This is the list of the books I think will be on Goodreads. They do it based on an algorithm. They do it based on how many bookshelves a book is on, even if it's on TBR shelves too. And they also do it based on like number of reviews, and then it has to be over a certain rating. So these are just the books that I think they will put on their top 20. Let's start with the top one that we all know is going to win the Goodreads Choice Awards. I mean, I'm guessing, and that's Sarah J. Maas. I mean, if there's a Sarah J. Maas book coming out in a year and there's a Romantasy category, we all know who's gonna win. Sarah J. Maas. House of Flame and Shadow, which is the final book in the Crescent City trilogy. Well, actually there's gonna be a fourth book now, but that's neither here nor there. This has got 430,898 ratings with an average rating of 4.21. She's gonna win it. If you haven't heard of Crescent City, look it up. I'm sure you have. I'm not doing synopses here because we're talking about like over 20 books, but I do think that's gonna be the winner. We all know that's gonna be the winner. I have nothing else to say about that. If it's not the winner for some crazy reason, it's probably gonna be Bride by Ali Hazelwood because this one has over 400,000 ratings as well. Its average rating is 4.02. It's got a lower average rating and it has less ratings, but it's still way high up there. And I don't know how many shelves it's been put on. So that's kind of like a hidden aspect of this that we don't know, but I don't think it's gonna win. It'll definitely be in the top 10 though. Like I don't see it not being in the top final 10 when they narrow everything down. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I'm actually reading that right now and really enjoying it. Highly recommend if you're looking for a vampire romance. It's a lot of fun. I'm liking it. Phantasma. That one I do think is gonna make it because this book has gone crazy all of a sudden. This was a book of the month, so it's got over 25,000 ratings and its average rating is 4.21. Okay, I know it's on a lot of people's TBRs, especially because it was a book of the month. So it's got a wider range of views and publicity because of that. So this one I think will be on the top 20 list for sure. And that's by Kaylee Smith. Scarlett St. Clair is a very famous fantasy romance author. I'm personally not a huge fan of hers, but she did come out with A Touch of Chaos this year and it had over 36,000 ratings so far with an average rating of 3.95. So I do think that's going to make the list as well. I don't know which series this is. I think it's probably in her Touch of Darkness series, which I tried to read that book and DNF'd it. I think Zodiac Academy number 9, the final book in the Zodiac Academy series, is also going to be on there. Zodiac Academy was on there last year and I think it'll be on there again. It's got over 30,000 ratings and the average rating is 4.3. It's also the final book in the series, so I really do think that that will be on there. I need to catch up with that series. I have to read book 6. Another no-brainer is Quicksilver. This one is blown up all over TikTok. I am reading it right now. I'm probably gonna finish it today. I am obsessed. I understand the hype. I get the hype. I understand why everyone is obsessed with it. It is very, very good. Highly recommend if you have not picked this up and you like fantasy romance, please pick this up. This has over 80,000 ratings and the average rating 4.45. That's huge. That's like a very high average rating. That's like a Brandon Sanderson level average rating. So very, very popular. Another really popular one is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This has over 100,000 ratings with a 4.10 average rating. I gave this book 5 stars. Sarah A. Parker is one of my all-time favorite fantasy romance authors. I adore her. I get that her writing style is not for everyone, but I personally love it. If you like a writing style that's very flowery and descriptive, you might pick this one up if you haven't already. I just realized I missed one that I had up there too at the very top of my list, and that is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This has almost 100,000 ratings. It's 98,898 ratings with an average rating of 3.97, so almost 4 stars. This one was also traditionally published. This one is definitely going to be on the list, like no question. Another one that I do think will be on this list is Holly Renee's The Veiled Kingdom. This is the first book in this new series. She's a very popular fantasy romance author. She's got almost 34,000 ratings and 3.88 is the average rating. So I think that this one will be on there. I haven't read it yet. I do have it on my Kindle app, so I'm planning on reading that. I'm actually surprised by the number of ratings for JLA's new book, Flesh and Fire #4, Born of Blood and Ash. This is got only 23,000 ratings, average rating 4.41. I do think it will be on there though, because this is JLA. We're talking about Jennifer L. Armentrout, and she is such an iconic fantasy romance author and very popular. I just don't see her not being on the list. But the number of ratings is kind of low. It might be on a lot of people's TBR shelves though too. So I do think that will be on there. So far, we've talked about 10 books, okay? Stacia Stark's A Queen This Fierce and Deadly. This is Kingdom of Lies #4. I haven't read this. I haven't read any of the books in the series, but it does have 18,000 ratings with a 4.15 average rating. So I do think that one is going to be on this list. Oh, another one that actually has a lot of ratings is Apprentice to the Villain, The Assistant to the Villain #2. That has almost 50,000 ratings, and that's a 4.19 average rating. And I think this is almost like a cozy fantasy romance. I think it might be something I like. I'm hearing mixed things though. I don't know. But I haven't read it, but it's very popular. I think that will be on there. I think that would count as fantasy romance. A Promise of Peridot. The Sacred Stones Trilogy #2 came out this year. I think the third one might have too, but this one has more ratings. It's got 11,799 ratings, 4.09 average rating. This is the second book. It's the book that comes after A Dawn of Onyx, which I started, but I want to continue. I need to finish that book. But it's been a pretty popular fantasy romance series, and it has been traditionally published now. It started out self-published on KU. This is a book that has become popular recently, The Wren in the Holly Library. It's the Oak and the Holly Cycle #1. It's got 14,887 ratings, though the average rating is 3.75. That's still above what it needs to be, but it's not super high, especially for Goodreads, or especially compared to like the other ones on this list. But I have been hearing a lot of buzz about this one, so that's definitely a contender. And I do think Raven Kennedy will make this list, okay? The 6th book came out this year, 14,038 ratings. Unless it's Gold, I don't know, because Gold came out last year and maybe in December, and because it missed the cutoff last year, maybe it would be Gold. I'm not sure, and Gold would have more ratings. And that has over a 4 average rating too. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Would it be Gold or Goldfinch? Raven Kennedy's going to be on the list though, for sure. I would assume. I would hope. That means I have talked about 15 books. So 5 more that I think are going to be on there. Let's talk about some books that you are probably like, why hasn't she talked about these yet? You know? Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I think this might end up on the fantasy list, but there's a possibility it's on the fantasy romance list. I am not sure. It's got almost 30,000 ratings with an average rating of over 4. Another one for similar reasons is The Honey Witch, though that only has just over 10,000 ratings. I'm not sure, but both of those could easily be on fantasy as opposed to fantasy romance, because I feel like they're more in the cozy fantasy category. And cozy fantasies usually have a strong romance subplot, or often do, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen with those, where they're going to get put. They'll probably be in the Goodreads Choice Awards though, I would assume. Now, Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm not sure if this is going to make the cutoff for release date. I think it might, but right now there's just not enough ratings for it to make it, but it might blow up all of a sudden. I'm not sure how that's going to work. It's coming out right around the cutoff of the Goodreads Choice Awards. So usually I would assume Carrie Maniscalco would be on this list, but we're gonna have to see. Another one, Mortal Fates, The Throne of Honor and Blood. This only has 7,000 ratings, but it's been kind of all over the place. Jay Bree is a very well-known fantasy romance author who is very popular, but I'm not sure. There was a lot of backlash and stuff with her release. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with her. And like I said, only 7,000 ratings. So I don't know. Honorable mention, but I think it's quite possible she does not make the list. And then Crowns of Nyaxia #3, also coming out around the cutoff date. So right now there's not a lot of ratings. I don't know what's going to happen with that. That's Carissa Broadbent. If she were to have come out with that book, say in September or October, I think it would have definitely made the list. I don't know what's going to happen with the release date being when it is. Let me know what you guys think. Technically I have 6 more to discuss. One more is like a switch out spot. Honorable mention to Emma Hamm, Whispers of the Deep. She's a very famous, well-known fantasy romance author. This is the first book in her Merman series, but it only has 8.5 thousand ratings, an average rating of over 4. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think it has enough ratings, but it might be on a lot of TBR shelves. So yeah, I'm not sure. Honorable mention, but I think it might not make the list. Dawn of the Cursed King, I think could make the list. It's Gods and Monsters #3. I know that first book in that series is very popular. 4.35 average rating. That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human by Kimberly Lemming. I was a bit peeved last year when Kimberly Lemming got snubbed by Goodreads. I get it, she was picked up, so maybe that's why, but I think that she should have made the list. If she doesn't get the list this time, I will be really peeved. There's not enough BIPOC authors on this list alone, and she's an amazing author. Her series is amazing and very popular. She needs to make the list. I hope she makes the list. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. This just got picked up. I think this is gonna make the list. It's got a 3.99 average rating, 11,000 ratings. I think that's only gonna go up because it is a very popular series that like I said, just got picked up, so. And then Nisha Tooley made the list last year with Trial of the Sun King. Her 3rd book came out this year, Fate of the Sun King, with 11,600 ratings, 4.04 average rating. And I think that one's probably gonna make the list again, like that series is probably gonna make the list again, and I hope so. The final book, Legends of Thesmar, has been very popular this year, and the 4th book came out this year, got over 10,000 ratings with an average rating of 4.24. So I think that's gonna be also on this list. So that is 20 books plus some extra honorable mentions that are gonna make the Goodreads Choice Award nominees for 2024. Let me know where you agree, where you disagree. What did I forget? I'm sure I forgot something. I'm 100% sure I've forgotten something. So let me know. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to click the subscribe button and notification bell to be notified every time I post new videos. All of my social media is down below in the description bar. Until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.